All right, we are live. A lot of interesting updates. Opus, Claude just launched Opus 4.6, so minor upgrade. OpenAI launched Codex 5.3, another tiny upgrade. I think Sam Altman just also announced that Codex has hit 1 million users. Amazing work. I think OpenAI is definitely focusing on the fact that, hey, you could be better, you could have done something really good, especially targeting Claude Code, targeting Anthropic. You could have done something really good, but hey, we have more users, and now they're just leveraging that fact to like keep going. I don't know what is happening right now on the feed. Jack Altman, so Sam Altman's brother, he just like posted that, hey, if you're betting against Sam Altman, you are a fool, stuff like that. I don't know why suddenly people are feeling that Sam Altman is a victim again. I think that's a problem, kind of. That's a PR problem. It seems like OpenAI just needs a good PR person who is not very corporate, who knows how to play the game of Twitter, who knows how to play the game of drama. Because when Anthropic launches an ad like that, Anthropic's new Super Bowl ad, I don't think if we have discussed over here, but Anthropic's new Super Bowl ad targets directly at OpenAI, where they're talking about, hey, it's like one of those Black Mirror episodes where you are talking to ChatGPT. So basically, Anthropic is saying that ads are coming to AI but not to Claude, because ChatGPT announced that they will be adding AI, and kind of Claude kind of played that game that, imagine that you're talking to your AI as if you're doing a therapy, and suddenly it's just in the response itself, it inserts a very weird ad for something. So these kind of things will start happening more and more. That's what Anthropic is kind of saying, which is a little bit which is very interesting, because if you are very still we are in this world where most people are not using AI. We are in this world where still not most people are opening up ChatGPT every single day and using it. Still, they are like maybe once or twice in a week. They are like, oh, today I'm thinking of using ChatGPT, or like I have this very specific problem with this plumber I need to know, and maybe ChatGPT is better. That's it. Most people don't even know what to ask it. Like they cannot imagine that, hey, what kind of queries I want to ask it, and they don't know, don't want to spend time with it. I don't know what's the blocker exactly. It would be interesting to do some research, like why aren't people yet spending a lot of time straight on ChatGPT? Why are they still spending time on Google or other stuff? But anyways, most people are still not spending time over there. Most people still don't know the drama between Anthropic and ChatGPT. It's interesting that most people might not even know what Anthropic is. Most people might not know what Claude is, because ChatGPT is kind of the standard, most accessible, most downloaded app for AI in the world. That has become the standard brand, just like Kleenex is for the napkins. You got ChatGPT for AI. So that's it. Now, when Anthropic puts out an ads like that, most of the people who are in the tech circle, they're definitely having a lot of fun. They are like, this is good drama for us. This is very specific. Like imagine you are watching Love Island. Everybody's watching Love Island. All your friends are watching Love Island. There's a very specific thing that happens in Love Island. There's a drama, and you all have a lot of fun because people love drama, and there's a lot of context over there. There's a very specific a situation that happened. Everybody's having a lot of fun, but that's just still a bubble. The entire world who doesn't watch Love Island, they don't give a shit what is happening over there. So this is very similar. This is very similar over here. The problem that might happen over here is that Anthropic thinks that they're taking a dig at ChatGPT, at OpenAI, which is amazing for the tech bubble, which is amazing for the tech circle. They get a lot of drama. It's amazing. They are funny. But yes, the problem is that for all those people who are around the world who are not super caught up to what is happening, they might look at that And they might think that this is true. And that is a problem. That is a problem, because that basically just means that Sam Altman now has to fight an even bigger fight with all the regulators, all the governments, all the unions and circles and all the committees and stuff like that, to convince them even further that, hey, we're not going to do something like this, because the general public that is not caught up to the latest strategies and latest commentary and gossip in the tech bubble, in the hyper-specific tech AI bubble, they don't know. They look at Anthropic and they are like, oh, there is this small underdog that is kind of taking a dig at the top dog, and they might be right because they are smaller, they might be doing something right, and they might be finally exposing what ChatGPT is doing wrong. But also, there's this interesting idea that Claude never directly says OpenAI. Claude never directly, or Anthropic in general, never directly says OpenAI, ChatGPT, anything like that. Even at Davos, they are like, oh, some other people, some other research labs, some other frontier labs. Even before, when they had their ads running, they said that we are AI without all the drama. This time they are like, hey, ads are coming to AI but not to Claude. So it's very interesting. However, I think this is also an opportunity for Sam Altman to really start launching the ads in AI and show how it is actually better, how they are not going to do exactly what Anthropic said, and prove from a business model perspective that actually makes a way more sustainable business model for all these AI frontier labs who want to really expand globally. Because I think it's very interesting that today, if Anthropic is saying that ads are not coming to AI, which means that is one of the ways how you monetize the free subscription, that means that Anthropic is like very focused on that, okay, we are only focused on professional work, we are focused on coding, we are focused on all the professional work, all the knowledge work around Excel, PowerPoint. They recently launched something around Excel, something around PowerPoint. So now that you think about it, so what is happening over here? Anthropic is really focused on professional work. Anthropic is really focused on coding, which means they believe that they can go and close a lot of enterprise deals. By the way, there's a drone over here which I'm looking at. I don't think that's legal to fly a drone over here in the middle of downtown Vancouver, but I don't know what's happening. Anyways, this means that Anthropic believes that they can go and get a bunch of massive enterprise deals which will sustain their business, which will sustain their valuation, and they don't have to go for the ads. They don't have to monetize for the general public. And yes, their usage limits for the free version of Claude is very low. So people quickly hit the limits and they don't even build a habit. I think that's interesting. Like Anthropic might be thinking that we are so good, we will only give you this much limit, use it, start paying for us. But most of the free users, most of the people who cannot afford $20, $30 subscription, they just care about building a habit. Like if they are using ChatGPT all the time, if the free version is really good, if they're using it all the time, they have built a habit, they are now logged into the ecosystem. They don't even want to go and think about Claude. It's only the people who are highly in the bubble like me. I am going to be testing all the new products. Like actually, this just reminds me, Perplexity launched something really cool. So we'll look into Perplexity as well, but most people are not going to give a shit about all the latest developments. They just care about, hey, what is one thing that I can use right now, and that's it. That's all I care about. So where we're coming to from a valuation perspective, from a business model perspective, is that Anthropic believes that they can just keep going for enterprise deals that will, I forgot the word in English, but that will justify their valuation, that will justify all the investment that is going into Anthropic. But on the same hand, most of these companies are not looking to hand over billions of dollars and cut billions of dollars in enterprise deals with Anthropic and with OpenAI. I think Airbnb was a good example that Brian Chesky was like, we are using Quen. Let's actually quickly verify that. What model is Airbnb using? What LLM is Airbnb using? WisprFlow is amazing. WisprFlow is amazing. I said something, I corrected that, and it knew that, hey, just forget about everything in the past, just take the final version of it. So here it is. For its AI-powered customer service agent, Airbnb relies heavily on Alibaba's open source Qwen models, according to statements. Win for Chinese open source AI investment companies. Combination of 13 different AI models, which includes offerings from OpenAI, Google, among others. They tune and orchestrate these models using tens of thousands of real conversations for better performance. Frontier models, but no specific model names are disclosed in the engineering blog post. Airbnb is also invested in infrastructure for open source LLMs, including training and serving them efficiently, and they continue to evolve the platforms for various generative AI applications. Multimodal and pragmatic, leveraging both proprietary OpenAI, Google, and open source options, rather than committing to one LLM exclusively. This reflects a broader trend among large tech companies to avoid vendor lock and optimize for cost, performance, customizability. Let's look at Uber's AI model strategy. So basically, not every company, like Airbnb, what is the valuation of Airbnb? It might be close to $80 billion or $60 billion last time we checked. Let's ask Perplexity. What is the valuation of Airbnb? $76 to $80 billion. So they are valued at $76 to $80 billion. They are not gonna close $1 billion enterprise deal with Anthropic. We don't think that's gonna happen. By the way, let me quickly log into Perplexity. Oh, we are logged in. We're logged in. Okay. We're logged in. I'm not using Comet. Usually we use Comet, but now we kind of want to bring. So one thing they have done really cool, Perplexity has done really cool, is they have launched this thing called Model Council. Oh no. $17 per month, equivalent when billed annually. $167 per month when billed annually. Okay, so Model Council is only available for pro subscribers. Analyze. I do want to try Model Council. Okay, maybe we'll sign up. We'll sign up just to check that out, because Model Council looks pretty interesting. And this is exactly what people are now looking for, that okay, they want to go straight for the responses. People want to go straight for the response. People want to go for the responses to understand the quality of an LLM. It's not just about benchmarks. It's not just about the percentage, because you have no understanding. Every model has a vibe, and you get no understanding of that vibe by just looking at that. Okay, Kimi K.2 is 76%, Opus 4.6 is like 79%, and whatever Gemini 3.5 is 72%. I have no idea what you just said. And what is this benchmark? Everybody's creating the new benchmarks, and you are very, when you are focused on a lot of analytical or just metrics, your analysis is very one-dimensional. But I am looking for a full 360-degree evaluation of these models. So the best way to do that is just the responses. That okay, this is something that Airbnb might be doing. Like Airbnb, we just read that they are playing with 13 different models, and they train these models based on all their responses, all the data, all the conversation data that they have, and then they are like, okay, which one is good for, and then they have this analysis going on for what are the different categories or criteria. The different criteria would be based on cost, performance, and optimization. source model. Cost, performance, and customizability. Okay, that was the last word. Okay, cost, performance, and customizability. So you want lower cost, you want high performance, you want high customizability. Interesting. Right, so this is exactly what companies are going to do. They are going to be testing now all the LLMs based on the actual vibe. Even for people, they're going to be testing. They want to be seeing the responses all in one way. And I think this is actually really amazing. Perplexity was really quiet for a while, and I'm really happy that they are back. Actually, let's just tweet that. Also, we have this new feature which Atlas came out with. Atlas came out with Racket, basically saved prompts. Pretty much everybody had saved prompts we used in Dia. Dia called it skills. What are some skills? What are some skills that you want it to be saved, just so that it can hit and it just starts running. Now ChatGPT has that. The one we are using right now is Extract Insights, and Extract Insights is very specifically for once we have. I think it's really good. It's really good because once we have gotten our streams running, once we have a stream that is done, the transcript is evaluated or analyzed, then we can run this prompt that extract the best essay-worthy insights from this YouTube live stream. For each, give a summary and the essay angle. List all timestamps in a copy-paste ready code block for the YouTube description. Perfect. This is amazing. The one I ran yesterday, it was amazing. It gave me something really good. It's way better than the timestamps because now you're kind of giving it context that, hey, I'm not looking for just the random things that I'm saying. I'm not looking for just the random things that I'm saying, but I'm looking for the high-level ideas, high-level interesting ideas that could be further expanded into essays, and give the timestamps based on that. So the last timestamps that we got were amazing. It was really focused on the core insight rather than a random gibberish thing or random things that I related to during the stream. So those high-level things also kind of helped me to understand that, okay, what are some things that I keep talking about? What are some things that I keep going back to again and again? And also, I can go into these streams for 2 hours, 3 hours. I have a great time. I have a great time exploring ideas. But then you kind of realize that you forget about everything. So you want a really good way to also document your thoughts, that what are the different. It would be really cool, like as Gemini becomes really powerful, it would be very interesting to ask Gemini to, hey, go through all my streams, go through the transcript of all my streams and understand that how my thoughts have progressed. What are the areas that I have become slowly more and more interested in? What are the changes that you are seeing? What are some areas that I like to go deeper into? I think doing these kind of analysis is going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. Okay, so we are here. I was gonna go to Perplexity. I do feel like we lost touch of a thread over here around Anthropic and OpenAI, but yeah, basically OpenAI is definitely scared because when that ad goes out in the public, most general public, they have no idea. They are not using AI a lot, and this is the perception that they start having, that, oh, when ChatGPT says ads, this is how it's going to look like. And that is the problem with a good story. A good story, a good movie, a good story is the best way to ingrain an idea in your mind. Sam Altman saying something, you reading something, you looking at a photo, it's not as convincing as a well-crafted clip, a well-crafted movie. When you have a well-crafted movie, when you have a well-crafted direction, that really ingrains in your mind of how this future is going to look like, how it's going to turn out. And now they have to do a lot of work to remove that idea from people's mind. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I think Sam Altman did overreact. It seems like he shouldn't have overreacted, because when you overreact, it seems like Sam is kind of like, you don't wanna show that you are a victim. You wanna come from place of strength, that when you had BMW and Audi fighting against each other and competing against each other, it kind of brought the market up together. It brought the market up together when we had all these Billboard versus Audi ads. I'm pretty sure that they helped to grow each other, because now suddenly you had a controversy, people had to pick a side, and you had to pick a side, you had to dig your heels deeper, and that means that you were like, oh, I actually really love my Audi, and then you go out and convince your friends and stuff like that. You're having more conversations around it. It's also pretty fun. It's creating a little bit of drama. It's pretty cool. But it does make sense that we are no more talking about just very basic buying a car. This is kind of like we are talking about the future over here. We're talking about things that are gonna affect the society. These are some things which are incredibly powerful. So it does make sense that why Sam Altman would overreact. But yeah, you kind of want to play it down a little bit, and you want to make sure that you understand that this was just a fun thing. If someone is punching up, you kind of want to make sure that you acknowledge that hey, it was cool, but you acknowledge that it's funny. You shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't get shaken to your core. It seems like they are really shaken to their core. But anyways, now I also want to quickly check that we had Codex. What happened to Codex? Let's see. Do we have 5.3 available right away? Keyboard shortcuts, 2x. Main. Try in your IDE. I don't see an option for choosing the model. There's the model picker. Interesting. So it'll also open Codex just to make sure our Codex is updated. Update, yes, there's an update to Codex. Let's go. I have left Anthropic to start something new. Whoa. Osprey. You have left Anthropic to maybe join OpenAI. Wonderful experience, extremely high talent density, amazing culture, mission driven, geopolitics, leadership with real technical depth. Great respect for the founders and team. I'm grateful to have been part of such an extraordinary organization, reflecting on the last 20 years. 3 phases. I'm now entering a 4th. Confusion. Undergrad. I wasn't excited about the traditional academic path. Confused about what I wanted to do with my life. Immigrate to the US. Only viable path that covered living costs was a PhD program. Doing science. My PhD was truly a roller coaster. I still wanted to dig deeper into understanding deep learning. I convinced Sanjeev Arora and Jan LeCun to let me do a joint postdoc. Spending time between IS and NYU. I was a scientist in a cave. I was obsessed with understanding generalization through a particular theoretical lens. I was probably the most fixated person on earth on that specific angle. Joined Google and continued working on it for another year. Building technology to accelerate science. So the intersection is understanding generalization through a particular theoretical lens. Understanding deep learning. Accelerate science. OpenAI scaling law paper came out. My viewpoint started to shift. It might be more feasible to build an intelligent system that could answer my scientific questions than to find those answers myself. That was when I began transitioning from a scientist to a technologist. I was focused on pushing the frontier for reasoning for 3 years at Google. It was also very fun to push the frontier of computer use at Anthropic. Building a company to build a technology to accelerate science. Now I'm starting something new focused on core bottlenecks that could unlock step change acceleration across science and technology. It's ambitious. I'm about to learn a lot and be humble. I see so many similarities between my experience in this new journey now and my weeks long backpacking trips in the Alaskan wilderness with no guide and no trail. If this excites you, reach out. Wow. Amazing. I think this is gonna happen more and more. People are gonna leave their jobs, and people are just realizing there's so much power. These are the same people who are working in Anthropic and OpenAI with a lot of compute, they're seeing things change. They're seeing things change, that these tools that they have created has created so much power, that there is so much power now in the hands of independent thinkers, independent people, that they can actually go and work truly on the projects that they really wanted to work on. And especially if you wanted to if you really wanted to get out of the structure of a company structure, where you have meetings to attend and where you have some things to do, which we think that might be taking your time away from doing the real things that you care about. This is the time to actually get out of that noise and inject yourself into something that you truly want to work on. But let's go over here and quickly message Benham. Let's go. Dustin, great to see more work on accelerating science. Best of luck. I think accelerating science is the next thing. Accelerating science is the next thing. First OpenAI employee to admit he's automated his research with 5.3 Codex. It's really funny that seems like OpenAI is the only company that's not investing in the Twitter badges, the X badges, the company badges. Because they don't want to give more money to X. Very funny. Wait, what about Anthropic? If he goes Sama. Oh, he does have OpenAI. Okay. If we go Dario does have Anthropic. Okay. Interesting. I thought so. Not every OpenAI employee gets the Twitter badge. Does every OpenAI employee gets a Twitter badge? X badge. Let's see. Perplexity Model Council is something that you want to try. We'll try that later on. Let's see. There are no indications of a blanket company provided automatic verification for OpenAI employees specifically. No, I'm talking about the company logo badge on personal profile. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's see. Grok is really fast. Gets the company logo badge, affiliation badge, right. Opt-in organization managed feature for companies subscribe to Access Premium Business tier. Significantly more than individual X Premium, historically starting at hundreds or thousands per month. Which employee accounts to affiliate and add the badge to. Selective often for official representatives, executive spokespeople, and those in public facing roles. Blue, gold, gray check marks depending on the setup, but the badge itself is the key visual indicator. Okay, prominent OpenAI figures, blue check marks, consistent OpenAI logo affiliation badge next to the names. Okay, really cool. I use billions of Codex tokens. Here's my setup and what I learned. Continual node thinking. You basically get this setup out of the box in the new Codex app. Interesting. yes, the way we were able to create this right away was kind of crazy. So I'm looking at explore more. 5.2 Codex. Give me 5.3 Codex. Why am I getting medium reasoning effect? Okay, medium. Balance the speed and reasoning depth for everyday tasks. Greater reasoning for complex problems. Extra high reasoning. Default permission. Full access. New work tree. Getting Codex to continually document and improve its own workflows. This is something I fully hacked together for my personal setup. Consistently gets better. Okay. I have never used Codex before. Teach me how to use the new Codex app. Clear ground-up guide from OpenAI. Whether you're brand new or just curious. Work with AI agents to write, review, fix, and manage code, not one command at a time like a chat, but in a workspace where multiple AI threads can run in parallel on real projects. I think it's so interesting. It's so interesting that yes, first we were doing this copy pasta thing that okay, you put your code into OpenAI, you get a result, and then you're like, okay, now go over here and paste it. But now it's like, yes, we need a full on one app. When is XAI launching its Codex competitor? Let's go. WisprFlow is amazing. WisprFlow is amazing. It's funny that every time I am using WisprFlow, I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. Grok code fast one. Immediately available via XAI API, cursor, client, row code, and others. Row code. What is row code? Your AI software engineering team is here, interactive in the IDE, autonomous in the cloud. VS Code extension. Highly configurable, different from factors, different ways of working. Row code cloud. Design, implement, loading, spinner, animation, and CSS. Engineering manager, senior engineer. More than 1 million shipping with row. Okay. Okay. Install open the Mac OS app. Okay. Pick a project folder. Once inside, you'll be prompted to select a project folder. This can be a local folder on a computer or a Git repo you're working on. This tells Codex what code it will be working with. What code it will be working with. Okay. What's next? Think of project as a workspace where Codex will read files, propose changes, and help you build. Send your first message. Simply type what you want Codex to do in every language. For example, explain what this project does. Build a snake game here. Find and fix bugs in this code. Okay. Let's see. Let's ask Codex to find bugs in its own code. Oh no. Oh no. Give me 5.3. Stop. And send. Parfait. Plan mode. There's also plan mode, which is very interesting. Okay, what does Codex say? Codex say, I'll run a quick bug sweep on the current game files, reproduce obvious failures from static runtime checks, then patch and re-verify behavior. I'm starting by reading the project files at current state. Okay. It was also interesting to see that performance highlights, strong on benchmarks, context index as lineup, early Grok models already had strong general coding reasoning capabilities, but Grok Code Fast 1 is the dedicated specialized Codex style competitor. Agentic IDE integrated coding rather than broad chat. No, I'm talking about not a coding model, but a proper coding app IDE like Cursor. Let's see. Has not launched and shows no public signs of planning to launch. Own full-fledged coding app or IDE similar to Cursor, AI native standalone code editor. It's very interesting to understand that, okay, what is the sequencing? What is the sequencing? When you should be working on your model so hard, because when you take up a product problem, when you take up, these are two different problems. There's a problem with focusing a lot on research, which makes a better model. And then once you launch a product, there's a lot about a product problem, which is just like a product, what do we call that? Product management problem, which is just a product management problem. So then instead of, and these two, both the things require different set of people. The first one requires, this is the interesting thing that all these big companies can do now. They can really go hard. They can keep raising money, really go hard on the model side. But you can hire the best engineers, you can hire the best PhDs, you can go really hard on the model side and push that to the limit. It can get so good that until then, you can let all these other guys, Cursor, all the little startups play with the product side of it, play with the UI side of it, and then slowly the industry will learn from each other. The industry slowly learns from each other. Like after a while, it was very interesting when all these LLMs came out. You quickly saw that you go to any website, you go to Anthropic, you go to XAI, you go to ChatGPT, you go to Mistral, they all start to look the same, which is just a plain simple text box. That's it. So, and then the new guys, you can keep focusing on your model and you can keep understanding that, okay, the industry kind of normalizes, the industry comes out to the best average and the best UI, and then you just copy it. And that's it. So I think that's exact same thing is going to happen over here. OpenAI definitely wanted to launch something very fast because Claude Code was just taking on. Claude Code was taking on everything and all the hype that we had. And now I think it's actually very interesting. Even though I have Claude Code, Claude Mac app, I have the Pro subscription, whatever. I don't know. I still feel like I have a inkling that I think I might use Codex more than Claude Code. Also, you have to understand when you're non-technical, you are not spending all your time on these apps. You only want to go there when you really want to build something, when you finally have conviction. Yes, you can go and play sometimes, but just playing and just shooting queries can quickly get boring. So what you truly want, I think also the fact that I can run this quickly on localhost, I think that is good. Claude makes you run this as a Claude artifact, which should be an option, but there should be a default way where you can just run this on your local host so that you get the real experience. You are not playing under a scaffolding, under a proprietary scaffolding that is done by Anthropic. But yeah, I really think that Grok is just really focused on the model, and very soon, like Codex is over here, Cursor is over here, we got Claude Code, and now it will just look at, okay, what has Codex done? Codex has done this, okay, perfect, just copy that exact thing. This is working, this is the best UI that people have figured out, and the product managers are really pushing this thing, let's just copy it. Specialized agentic coding model, optimized for speed, low cost, tool use, grab terminal, file editing, and IDE workflows. It's explicitly designed to feel right at home in your favorite IDE. Partnered heavily at launch with existing coding platforms, including Cursor itself, GitHub Copilot, Client, Windsurf, OpenCode, Kilo, limited time access directly inside those tools. Later Grok models, Grok 4 series. And Elon has publicly claimed Grok 4 works better than Cursor for tasks like pasting entire source files for fixes, but this refers to using Grok via grok.com API integrations, but not dedicated XAI IDE. Better coding data loops, IDE using usage telemetry, but there's no evidence of an XAI built Cursor competitor in development or announced. Some posts note interest in Cursor's data from players like XAI, OpenAI, but that's acquisition licensing talk, not building their own. Somebody should go and acquire Cursor. Somebody should go and acquire cursor. Somebody should really go and acquire cursor. This was good. Let's quickly have a look. Model council, pick 3 models. Okay, and then you got retrieving key economic data. So everybody's following the same step. It seems like there will be like one Perplexity sonar, let's say. Sonar would be going and doing the planning mode, but then those individual models and going and doing the search. Okay, where models agree. They pretty much agree everywhere. Evidence, housing contributed, da 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 da. This is really cool. This is really cool. This is really cool, especially if you are talking about some politically sensitive topics, and then you can be like, oh, so there is an inherent bias. Unique discoveries. What was the last one? Where models disagree. Where models disagree. Okay. Primary framing of inflation drivers. So OpenAI thinks its shelter services dominant, tariffs secondary. Anthropic, equal weight to tariffs, shelter, food, energy. Gemini, tariffs are most distinct force. It kind of, wow. This helps you really understand the inherent biases. This is amazing for people to do misalignment, amazing for people to do the alignment research over here and test different topics, test different controversial topics, and see that what is the inherent bias of all these models. Identify inherent bias. Going to identify inherent bias and identify inherent bias. Political, social. Way to identify inherent bias. Inherent bias and alignment research. Okay, to identify inherent bias. Role of labor cost, wages explicitly highlighted, wage-driven services. Inflation mentioned, wage growth supporting demand but less detailed. Real wage struggles treated as secondary to tariffs. Labor's outside role in core services, government shutdown impact, not mentioned. Described as complicating factor affecting Fed decisions and data releases. Tariff magnitude characterization, important theme. Powell attribution to tariff overshoot. Wow. Unique discoveries. Non-housing core services contributed. Labor market tightness remained a bigger structural driver than shelter alone. Egg prices reached $6.50 per dozen in some cities. $4.20 national average versus $1.15 in 2019. Wow. Acute supply shock impact on specific household costs beyond headline numbers. Executive order suspended de minimis exemptions, immediately raising e-commerce prices. Policy change directly affected millions of low-cost imports, creating a distinct inflation channel. Shelter costs are the dominant persistent driver of 2025 inflation, while tariffs added approximately 0.5-0.7 percentage points. Very interesting. Prepared using 5.2 thinking, 4.5 thinking, Gemini 3 Pro. This reminds me that we should go. I don't like how there's this new bar that has taken up space for me over here. There has to be a way to just put your saved prompt somewhere over here. Yeah. Not here. Or even if it's here, put it somewhere over here. Yeah. There's one new bar. I don't like that. Créer une requête. So this is basically how it works. Your saved prompts are over here. Okay, let's check. Claude 4.6, let's go. Dream bigger, do more. With Opus 4.6, complete complex work in hours instead of days. Get polished reports, spreadsheets, and slides with less editing. Somebody was talking about this, the fact that you can do so much now. I think this is the guy who's running scientific stuff at OpenAI. He was like, if I'm in a meeting and I don't have a complex query running on high thinking mode that's gonna take 10 to 15 minutes, I feel like I'm wasting my time. It's very cool. It's very cool. I think you have a lot of ideas and you want to be able to, I think one another thing that happens is that you want it to spend a lot of time to go and research and like find all the information that you need, but then it comes out with this 20-page report, and then you are like, no, I'm not going to spend all my time reading that. Give me use a cheaper model and like find me a summary of this. So I think that is really important, that number one, go deep and do the research, find all the juice, and then run another quick one to be like, okay, now give me the most interesting things from this response from this report that you just generated, that you just created. Dream bigger, do more with Opus 4.6, experience extended thinking, which adapts based on how complex the task is. Try Opus 4.6. You're in Opus 4.6, toggle extended thinking here, and now adapts based on task complexity. Think longer for complex task. Opus 4.6. Ooh, more models are now here. Opus 3, Haiku 3.5, Sonnet 4. What are some interesting things I can do with Opus 4.6? Boom, go. You ask the model itself what to do with you. It is supposed to give you a good answer. We found something very interesting yesterday, so let's try that. Give me 10 insanely creative ideas to work on. Boom, go. I don't know why my reverso keeps triggering, but anyways. What did Codex do? Okay, Codex. So Codex, we asked Codex find and fix bugs in this code. I'll quickly share my Codex screen. Where are you, Codex? Codex. Let's go. It's good that it only has one window. Okay, or one tab. Quick bug sweep on the current game files. Reproduce obvious failures from static runtime checks. Patch and re-verify behavior. One immediate environment issue. Then I'll patch it directly. Few concrete issues already. Keyboard space scrolling. Brittle audio initialization. Some gameplay logic duplication. I'll run a syntax check and then patch the highest impact bugs first. Applying fixes now, hardening audio so unsupported browsers don't crash, preventing page scroll on game keys, and cleaning duplicated move logic that can hide regressions. Wow. I patched the main runtime. Yeah. I think Aditya Agarwal recently, who was one of the first product managers, I think 10th employee, director of product management at Facebook, he was like, yeah, it's gone. He's like, all the work that I did, all the skills that I built in the past decade or past 2 decades, it's all gone. You don't need to know that now. It's irrelevant now because people like me can just go and be like, hey, fix bugs. It's done. Bugs are fixed. Worked for 1 minute, 26 seconds. Fixed. Keyboard controls no longer trigger browser defaults. Audio now fails safely on browsers without web audio support. Audio resume errors are no longer unhandled. Validation, residual risk, no browser side automated tests were run, so behavior should be sanity checked manually. Really cool. Okay, we'll go back to ChatGPT. There's a girl who is like teaching French, and she's like like French people, how French people say ChatGPT's ChatGPT. ChatGPT means Chat, cat, J, I in past tense, PT, cat, I farted. ChatGPT. Anyways, that was fun. Okay. We will keep sending. Install used to manage tabs in ChatGPT Atlas and access your browser history. I want to try. List all my currently open browser tabs and call out duplicates. Whoa, so Codex can do stuff like this. I'm using Atlas skill to query ChatGPT Atlas directly, and then I will deduplicate by normalize URL title. I'll first fetch the tab list JSON so we can accurately flag duplicates. The UV launcher isn't installed in this environment, so I'm guessing that you can just go at type to search files, and you can go Atlas. Oh, cloud code review, feedback, MCP, personality, plan mode, status, skills. Okay, so how do I use skills? To add files for commands. So I will do Atlas. Okay, got it. So skills are over here. Skill installer, Cloudflare deploy worker speeches, services on Cloudflare, linear, Notion knowledge capture, capture screenshots, generate narrated audio from text, transcribe audio using OpenAI, optional speaker diarization. Whoa, what is a diarization? It's done. Okay, so Atlas app scripting is currently unavailable from this session. What I found, Atlas app is directed as ChatGPT Atlas. Tabs command fails. ChatGPT Atlas is installed but does not appear to expose window tab scripting. Direct app script probe, so I can reliably enumerate open tabs to unblock. Open ChatGPT Atlas manually. In macOS system settings, automation, allow your terminal Codex host to control ChatGPT. Okay, so let's try this. Réglage the system and automatisation, privacy and security. That is confidentialité et sécurité. Okay, then you wanna go into automatisation, which is empty. Localisation, autoriser les applications de sécurité. Automatisation. The cool thing is how now we are creating these general tools. Which can understand everything. So I can actually go to Codex and I can actually go to Codex and get, let's see. What if I actually tell it the problem that I'm facing right now? Okay, let's do this again. Général, confidentialité. Now I have automatisation. Okay, let's see. I don't see anything under the automation tab. We gotta do something about. There's something about reverso. What is reverso doing over here? Okay. Until an app actually requests automation permission, I'll trigger a direct Apple script request using Atlas's bundle ID, then retry tab listing. I found a mismatch. The app path used earlier no longer resolves cleanly. I'm checking the exact install app name path so we can target the right process for permission prompts. Wow. So it's actually doing that. It's actually going into my thing and it's doing something. We need the OpenClaw thing to work now. OpenClaw is amazing. People are doing interesting things, but that entire world is hidden from us. Verified on your machine that empty automation pane is expected in your case. Still fails, nothing appears. Not a setting issue on your side. Atlas currently isn't exposing script control in this environment build. Fully quit and launch Atlas, then rerun the tab query. Update, reinstall, version specific. Okay, cool. We'll look into this later. This is interesting though. We have more automations. We have more automational skills. Okay, so skills are here. Automations are here. Small classic game. Da, 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 da. Benchmarks. Synthesize untested paths from recent changes before tagging. Da, da, da. Ace agents MD. Trigger new issues, summarize last week's PR, scan audit dependencies, audit performance regression, update the change log. Okay, we'll look into this later. Implications for society. These workflows reveal something fundamental about how organizations can operate. In both of my use cases, I achieved comprehensive cross-organization knowledge transfer without manual coordination, no meetings or emails, no asking around. I simply pointed Codex to the problem and it aggregated knowledge from dozens of people who didn't even know they were contributing to my cause. I can't help but wonder how this will impact society. Traditionally, organizations pay some headcount tax. I want people in total output increases, but each additional person contributes less because coordination overhead grows. This is a huge issue. More organizations use tools like unstructured communication channels, shared code bases, and centralized documentation to mitigate this, but there's still massive friction. Surfacing the right context for any given decision still requires significant human effort. With the technology available today, we can now traverse an organization's entire information landscape and synthesize relevant context on demand. We can make a real dent into inefficiencies every organization on the planet suffers from. A modern institutions can be made much more efficient. It turns out we might just need to ask. Wow. Research moves fast, experiments are expensive and easy to misconfigure, so staying on top of the recent findings and gotchas is crucial. Quickly implement a one-off experiment in a part of the code base I'm familiar with. I got Codex to do extensive due diligence. Codex explores relevant Slack channels, reads related discussions, fetches experimental branches from those discussions, and cherry picks useful changes from my experiment. Wow. So you have an idea, you're collecting all the context, and then you are running an experiment. Which helps you understand that actually humans talking about things and generating the specific context is actually important. Like, you want humans to be picking up specific problems and talking about that deeply. Probably you just have a conversation with your employees, and all those conversations are transcribed and documented in a certain way, because that helps you retain the context. It's really hard these days. Like, if you're running a company, if everybody has different point of view, it's really hard to do that. That, okay, how do we transcribe? How do we make sure that we keep talking about interesting ideas, but we also capture where we left? We also develop on them we also keep developing on them. It's very important. Relevant Slack channels, reads related discussions, fetches experimental branches from those discussions, and cherry picks useful changes from my experiment. All of this gets summarized in an extensive set of notes with links back to where each piece of information was found. Using these notes, Codex wires the experiment and makes a bunch of hyperparameter decisions I couldn't possibly make without much more effort. Second opinion greatly increases my confidence in what I'm shipping. Mistakes are costly. You want an incredibly diligent, high recall storage agent. Codex routinely scratches that itch for me. Are also great data analysis and have made it very easy to quickly get insights from data. Currently, the real bottleneck is figuring out what to analyze. I aggressively scaled some of our model behavior efforts using Codex. I realized that our internal Slack is filled with discussions, reports, and data, all relating to different types of model behavior, which we might want to test for more rigorously. Locate and extensively crawl the appropriate channels and generate descriptions of testable hypotheses. Beyond reading Slack, and looked at screenshots people shared, pulled documents related to model behavior. This resulted in over 700 new hypotheses, which are currently improving our understanding of model behavior and user preferences. What happens if I asked Codex to do something which is not Codex. List all the alignment research that is happening inside OpenAI. I'm really curious. How does it respond? Find OpenAI alignment research. Most of this work centered in hypotheses are currently improving our understanding of model behavior and user preferences. Most of this work was done with GPT 5.2, but I have been testing the new GPT 5.3 Codex model for a few days now. Used per day are going up, which I think loosely correlates with my productivity. Particularly good at managing multiple sub-agents concurrently. Additionally, the recent speed-ups to the Codex stack made the whole sub-agent experience feel a lot more snappy. 5.3 Codex is particularly good at managing multiple sub-agents concurrently. Additionally, so this is where you are. I really want to do this. I really want to start doing this where multiple agents are running in multiple agents are running together, and that would be very interesting to see. Multiple instances, as they call it. Additionally, the recent speed ups to the Codex stack make the whole sub-agent experience feel a lot more snappy. My workflow is currently shifting towards only talking to one agent, which in turn orchestrates a battalion of agents to do Slack research, code writing, and data science. Let's ask Claude. I want this workflow. How do I make it happen? Go. Opus 4.6. Go for me. Go and kill. It's very funny. It's like, I think, who was it? Oh wow, where are we reading that? Here. No. Here. No. Here. Yes, here. Carol. Okay. It's really funny. This reminds me of Scott Galloway. Scott Galloway had this quote that he talks about money like that. That these are soldiers, that while my family's sleeping, they are going and hunting for me. It's pretty fun, actually. What is the Scott Galloway quote around money is like my soldier that goes out hunting for me while me and my family are sleeping in our bed? You're remembering a Scott Galloway line that he's delivered in a few talks, podcasts, slightly different phrasing. Money's like a soldier or an employee that goes out in the world to work for you so you can sleep while it's earning money on your behalf. No. Your money should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family while you are at home asleep. Yes, that's a good one. Your money should be out there hunting. Your agents should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family. Yes. Amazing. It's beautiful. Your agents should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family while you are at home asleep. Fun. Your agents should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family while you are at home asleep. Let's go. Amazing work. Wealth is having assets that work while you sleep. Money should be your employee, not your master. Your agents should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family while you are at home asleep. Amazing work. Let's go. This drastically reduces the amount of context switching I need to do in order to parallelize my work through agents. However, when I need to do a crucial task, I should log to directly talking to that specific sub-agent. I think I'm really curious. I don't know why I'm thinking about it right now, but I'm really curious where Dan Romero goes. I was thinking about it yesterday, like, it would be very interesting to see, because somebody was talking about today that three people who were really like outward facing in crypto have moved to AI. So it's like, oh, so what's gonna happen now? It's like crypto is kind of dead. And it's basically Nader. Nader went from Aave to what's the other one? The second one I forgot the name. And the third one, which he now went to, is Cognition, which is the owner of Windsurf, which made Devin. So Nodder went over there to Cognition, and then you have Dan Romero. I'm really curious. He's not staying in crypto. He's going to nuclear or AI or VC, something like that. Let's see. What does Grok say? Where would you guess Dan Romero gets his new job? Co-founder Varun stepped away, protocol shifted to a new ownership and more developer focus. Return 180 million to investors. No public announcement of his next role. Recent activity, speculation. My educated guess, based on his background, strong network, ties to A16Z crypto, timing right after major project wind down, most likely another Web3 crypto startup protocol play. Identities, social layers, or wallets, good forecasters, pivot notes, and his expertise. He has a track record of building from scratch incredibly neutral open protocols, popular community speculation. Joining Tempo, crypto attention economy. Whoa. Crypto attention economy tool or a similar project gaining traction in crypto city circles. Joining Tempo or something tied to OpenAI's rumored social network. Fits if it's an AIX social experiment. Dan has built a cred that could appeal in high-profile AI crypto crossovers. Back to Coinbase or a similar established crypto firm and senior product ops role. New venture network states or decentralized governance. He's spoken on this in past. Advisory investing role at a VC. Less likely but possible non-crypto tech move, AI agent social tooling, though his posts stay crypto adjacent. That is very interesting. OpenAI's rumored... Tell me more about OpenAI's rumored social network. While we're looking for that, I'm also curious about the Sora update, or in general, what is the update with Sora? Because Sora is doing something cool. If you look at Bill Peebles, who is the head of Sora at OpenAI, and who always keeps updating with beautiful OpenAI or AI generated art. We will look into this. Actually, I will make a change. I want to see my screen much clearer. Okay, this does make a difference. We're getting a lot of good sun. That is amazing. Okay. Screen is much more clear. Amazing work by Gabriel Gu. 4 image and LED among other things. Okay. Oh, 16 December. Peebles has no update in the new year. ChatGPT image is powered by our flagship new image generation model. Precise editing, detail preservation. Really cool. Sora Disney is going to be pure magic. Dream come true to be working with them. Really happy to be working with Disney to bring some magic to Sora and image. And Disney is the best storytelling company in the world, and our users really want to generate content with their characters. So what was the deal? What happened to the ChatGPT? Cancel that. What happened to the OpenAI and Disney deal? Wow. Okay. Talking speculation, tech circles, mid 2025, no official launch confirmation. Story first broke prominently via The Verge. Okay. Internal prototype, X-like social network, think feed-based posting. ChatGPT's image generation features like DALL-E advancements at the time with social feed where users could share, view, and interact around AI-generated images. Private feedback from outsiders. It was unclear if this would launch as a standalone app or integrate into existing ChatGPT app. Massive downloads via momentum from image video tools. More directly with X amid their rivalry. Meta platforms, even XAI Grok integrations. It's very interesting. X is getting more and more relevant. That is true. How has the monthly active users of X grown in the past 2 years? Okay. Broader consumer tech giant like Fang contender leveraging wild AI content, Ghibli style image flooding social media. Recent developments. Social network is still very early stage, developed by a small team. Real humans only platform. Major pain point on X, Instagram, TikTok. Degrade feeds and engagement. They were gonna start from AI generated images, but now they're like, okay, no bots. Okay, very interesting. Verification angle, strong emphasis on biometric proof of personhood. Okay, you bring together WorldCoin as well over here. Apple's Face ID, WorldCoin's Orb, iris scanning device from Tools for Humanity company, Sam Altman founder and chairs, though no formal partnership confirmed. Ties into broader concerns about AI content flooding the web, ironically created by OpenAI's own tools like Sora for web. I think the next frontier that we are really excited about, the first company that combines their IDE, their AI IDE or their AI IDE, their IDE with their browser. That will be the first frontier, the next beautiful frontier that we'll see. Like OpenAI already is pretty much doing that in ChatGPT Atlas itself, they have the Codex tab, which is kind of like not very powerfully made, but it's kind of built in over there. And then you have Codex app, and ideally they should be coming together. Why are they separate? I'm really curious. Why are they separate? Is the future where browser and IDE comes together, like OpenAI today has the ChatGPT Atlas browser and it has the Codex app. I would imagine that in future they both would come together, or they would be one single app. Let's see. No launch timelines. The rumor briefly boosted WorldCoin's token. Amplified this framing as OpenAI capitalizing on ChatGPT Sora virality while solving bot toxicity. No public prototype beta has been shown. Prediction markets, low to moderate odds. Chatter around AI agent only platforms. Mold book where bots interact and debate, call it likely fad. Underlying autonomous AI tech. Bot human divide they are targeting. Broader context. Hardware frontier models, consumer tools, no strong signals of prioritizing social over these. Leveraging OpenAI's consumer AI momentum. The speculative early and unconfirmed OpenAI hasn't commented publicly materializes could be a bold move in the AI versus bots era. But network effects make new social platforms notoriously hard to succeed. What happened to the OpenAI and Disney deal? I'm also really excited. Like, it's very interesting. Like, you slowly go from lowercase to uppercase. We slowly go from lowercase to uppercase. Your region should be out there hunting, protecting, and providing for your family while you are at home asleep. Very funny. We only really have one button, and it's to accelerate. Announced in December 25 is still very much active and progressing. As of early 2026, no cancellation, termination, major setbacks. 3-year licensing and investment partnership. Disney invested $1 billion in OpenAI. Equity with additional warrants for more shares at a set price. I think this makes a lot of sense. You let them invest in your company because this is anyways going to happen, and you capture the upside. You capture the upside. You not only get equity, but you not only license, so they win. You not only license, so you kind of get a safer version, much more reputable version of your IP being copied, but you also get equity. You can also capture the upside. Both are important. Because if you have IP, you have to license it to someone. You cannot just keep it to yourself because you were focused on creating the IP that you don't have the mechanism to actually make the most of that IP today in this AI world. So you got to license it to someone. So you're going to make sure that you get a good price for it, which is good. I think someone like Reddit did that. We are not sure that if Reddit got a stake in OpenAI, Reddit is just making money from the licensing deal, the cash flow itself, but capturing the upside, I think that's the bigger one. So Disney did something amazing over here by capturing the upside. Disney an unspecified licensing fee to use over 250 iconic characters from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars in its generative AI tools, primarily Sora, and related features like ChatGPT images. Users can generate short form videos. Generate an image of Iron Man and Mickey Mouse together. Can you do that? You can do it. Let's go. Short form videos featuring these characters but restricted to animated, illustrated, or masked versions. No real human faces or voices to respect actors' rights and likeness protections. Okay, that makes sense. Like you have Mickey Mouse, but you don't have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. You just have Iron Man because Disney owns the character Iron Man. Disney doesn't own Robert Downey Jr.'s voice and personality. Oh, nous sommes désolés, mais l'image que nous avons créée semble enfreindre nos mesures de protection concernant la similitude avec du contenu tiers. Si vous pensez que nous avons commis une erreur, veuillez réessayer ou modifier votre requête. I forgot how to say. Do we pronounce it T or not? Requête. Okay, requête. Wait, but I thought OpenAI has a deal with Disney, so there shouldn't be any problem with generating these images. Love this. WisprFlow. Love this. Amazing WisprFlow. Haha, fair question. On the surface, it does feel like deal, green light, but the reality is a bit more contractual labyrinth than Magic Portal. Partnership not equal to unrestricted creative rights. Narrowly scoped. Training, tooling, internal workflows. Approved use cases, strict brand and character protection rules. Ooh, Mickey and Iron Man is a double red flag. They almost never mean users can freely generate an image of iconic characters doing whatever. One of the most tightly protected IPs on Earth. Disney guards him like a crown jewel. Flagship Marvel character. Marvel licensing is its own legal maze. Brand dilution, implied crossovers. Commercial misuse, reputational concerns. But I think Grok can do it. Grok, make it happen. Imagine Mickey Mouse and Iron Man hugging each other. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. It's really funny. Like you actually kind of see. This is crazy. What? Oh, this is crazy. OpenAI is like, no, we can't do it even after I close the deal. And Grok is like, hey, here. Wait, what? Why is Grok able to make a deal, or Grok is able to generate? This is pretty cool. Because you have to do something. You have to either make Mickey Mouse big, or you have to make Iron Man small. But this is pretty cool. Make Mickey Mouse into a baby and Iron Man into a full human size. WisprFlow is amazing. WisprFlow is amazing. I'm really happy. Let's go. Oh my god. What did you do, Grok? No. You made literal baby. Baby size. I wanted to say baby size. Yes. Whoa. What is happening here? Image generation is so interesting. Mickey Mouse into baby size and Iron Man into human size. And Grok Imagine is also really fast. This is really fast. This is amazing. And then it's pretty cool. Like you can choose. You can choose. Okay, now it's getting weird, so we'll skip that. Let's see, what's a good one? I think this is a good one. Then you can choose that, okay, I want to make this one into a video, so only work on this one. It's pretty cool. Okay, what is this? 720, 480, video duration 6 seconds, 8 seconds, video presets, and what is this one? Make video. Are you making 2 videos now? I don't know. What is happening? Okay, what is it? This is download. This is share. This is X. Yeah, this is the problem. Like OpenAI has to be much more careful because they are the big dog over here. Everybody's using them. A lot of scrutiny is over there, and XAI is just like, we'll do everything because nobody. I think that's the benefit of being someone where not a lot of people come to make things. We don't know yet. This is just my guess. Like not a lot of people are talking about Grok Imagine, so people are not actually using Grok Imagine to create, so they can actually take risk. But if OpenAI does something, OpenAI is the standard for AI in the world. Suddenly, Sam Altman is under fire. Doesn't reason like a lawyer. It follows conservative guardrails. Direct depiction of copyrighted characters in a novel scene, it's blocked. What does actually work? Okay, what if I...
Hi, Iron Man. Ready for an adventure? You bet, Mickey. Let's roll. Hot dog. This isn't Mouseketeers Unite. Hi, Iron Man.
Oh my god.
Adventure? You bet, Mickey. Let's roll. Hot dog. This isn't Mouseketeers Unite. Hi, Iron Man. Ready for an adventure? You bet, Mickey. Let's roll. Hot dog. This isn't Mouseketeers Unite. Hiya.
Wow.
You bet, Mickey. Let's roll. Hot dog. This isn't Mouseketeers Unite.
OpenAI closed a deal with Disney. variations. Recap recent posts, suggest posts, trending topics. Very interesting. Disney deal secured. Mickey Iron Man still blocked. Grok, no problem. Minimalist. Unless you use Grok, the Disney deal is real. Disney deal secured. Mickey Iron Man still blocked. Grok Grok. Disney, OpenAI. Partners with Disney. This is very funny. OpenAI partners with Disney. Mickey and Iron Man still blocked. Grok, no problem. Créez votre version avec Grok. The real SF Super Bowl. Clock on. Today over 1,000 plus people piling into a space to learn, build and share open source projects and get a glimpse in the future. MSG. What is MSG? Michael S. Galpert. Run a product studio that enables people with AI. Previously worked on Fortnite. Really cool. Stay Pete. 241. Frontier Tower. 16 floor tower into a vertical village for frontier tech pioneers in San Francisco. The blueprint for an intercity network society. Wow, very cool. With organizations. Kevin Rose, partner True Ventures. Dave Morin, founder Offline Ventures, Slow, Path, Early, Apple, Facebook, Podcast, more or less. Key or dad of 3. Brit Morin. Wait, husband, wife? Yes. If he's the dad with last name Morin, she's the wife with last name Morin. Co-founder and managing partner of, yes, she's the wife. Offline Ventures, former founder of My BFF, co-host of more or less. Okay, so this is a husband and wife podcast. Okay. Ashton Kutcher. Whoa. I build things, stories, companies, collaborations of thoughts, dreams, and believe in a future. Wait, what is this? Where we all have a right to pursue happiness. And he's saying that I can just text Ashton Kutcher. Let me text Ashton Kutcher. Okay. This is live text to Ashton Kutcher. Whoa. I already messaged him. A year and a half ago. Ashton here. And their text pretty much didn't change. I likely can't respond to everything, but I'll try to be in touch. Dream bigger. Add yourself to community.com. Ajoutez votre contact. This is interesting. I remember Sean Puri used this. I remember that. Okay, let me actually let's ask him that. Why is Grok able to make it then? Why is Grok able to generate this image? And you're not imagining things. This isn't random luck or secret Disney favoritism. It comes down to policy, philosophy, risk tolerance, and enforcement, timing, not capability. Different companies, different IP, risk exposure. Different bets on a copper exposure. OpenAI takes a highly conservative, preventative stance. Something looks like a clean depiction of two protected characters in a new scene, blocked upfront. currently operates with a looser, more permissive interpretation, especially for non-commercial, user-initiated fan art style generations. Different sides of the uncertainty curve. Think of it as OpenAI don't generate it unless we are confident it's okay. Generate it unless someone proves it's not. Same law, different lawyers. Enforcement lag is real. Isn't instantaneous. Platforms often go through phases. See what users do, get feedback or pressure from rights holders, try new rules later. YouTube early days, Napster, early generative image models, even Twitter X itself, Grok, may simply be early in the cycle. But Disney owns Marvel, doesn't simplify things. Special internal protections beyond standard IP. Cross-character depictions can apply brand endorsement, canonical crossover, merchandising intent. 2 flagship character, emotional interaction, photorealistic polish, high likelihood of being interpreted as unauthorized derivative content. Grok currently shrugs and renders. High likelihood of being interpreted as unauthorized derivative content. Grok is generated does not mean XAI is legally safe or allowed. It just means they're accepting more downstream risk or pushing responsibility to users or prioritizing openness over caution. Guardrails usually tighten or loosen once scale and attention increase. The meta takeaway. This one, Mickey and Iron Man, and more about how frontier models diverge philosophically. OpenAI optimizes for institutional trust and long-term survivability. Grok optimizes for expressiveness, virality, and cultural edge. Neither is neutral. Each shapes the kind of internet that forms around it. Generate this image because it applies loose happy filters, accepts more legal ambiguity. Early in the enforcement curve, OpenAI blocks it because it chooses prevention or permission, assumes worst case interpretation, designs for global enterprise scale scrutiny. Very interesting. Very interesting. Son titre. Just text me, it's easier. Not here to text. Day AI, the cursor of CRM. Wow, Ashton Kutcher is going all in on AI. From the team behind the magic here.
We're thrilled to announce our $20 million Series A financing led by Sequoia Capital, with participation from Sound Ventures, Permanent Capital, Conviction, and Greenhouse. Founders start companies because we feel anything is possible. We see the future, just can't wait to build it. As we scale, that feeling disappears. Imagination is replaced by powerlessness. The more we grow, the less we know what's actually going on. CRM is supposed to keep us closer to the truth. Instead, simple questions became week-long projects. You've been there. A board member asks about that SDR team this one. How's pipeline quality going? You don't know. Your SDR lead says they're crushing it. Your AE say the meetings are garbage. It's a sore subject, and you have no idea who's right. So you say you'll circle back. You don't want to circle back. You just want to know everything. Now you can. At our board meetings, my day AI assistant is an attendee. When someone asks, how many quality meetings did the SDR team go? I don't circle back. I ask. Seconds later, he answered with citations. Which reps are converting best? These ones. What are they doing differently? This and this. Wherever the conversation turns, she fills in any gaps with answers, themes, data points, facts.
What are your priorities for the business outside of CRM? When you say following up with the leads, are you talking about leads that are coming inbound, or what does that process look like today?
All backed up by citations and sharing our whole thought process. It's instant and it's trustworthy. This crystal ball is not just for CEOs. People use it in really creative ways. Coaching themselves after calls, creating marketing content for customer conversations, and of course, ripping through their follow-ups in minutes, keeping every promise they made. Now it's time to put day AI to all of you. That feeling you had on day one is back.
In case you missed it, check it out. Oh my god, that's the entire stream. 251, okay, thank you. 251? Oh, you meant 2 or 51 minutes.
Yeah, no, Jensen is. I mean, we said this. We opened here with this. We said year of the fire horse. Yeah. massive. Also, and we have access, obviously, like the GUI program
with standard run skill. And I hope that with this
experience. Actually, that was
Excellent.
please.
OpenAI uses. So yeah, apparently OpenAI talking with Cerebus and Grok to do like some chips, and then when Grok got bought by NVIDIA, like that stopped the talks. I think it's just because they're too slow. Right? You've seen Rewritten talk about this, where Codex is somewhat slower than Claude Code or whatever. Even if the model's actually better, the experience can be worse sometimes.
Yeah, no. I mean, like the models can get better, but they're already really, really good. Like most of the deep research reports that I get back are amazing. They job mission accomplished. Like you did it. You did the research, you compiled it, and I got my information, but I had to wait 20 minutes. Cut that down to 2 minutes, and I'll probably use it 10 times as much. And I'll probably pay 10 times as much for that. And same thing with coding. There's so many memes about watching brain rot videos while you're waiting for Codex or Claude Code or whatever you're using to come back and answer you. Speed it up, and you're going to have a much faster adoption path.
Chat has confirmed that it is Tom Wamscans.
There we go.
Ran the amusement park and cruise division. Then he got moved up to ATN News.
Okay.
The one more thing on the DAT side of things. BitMine, this is Tom Lee.
Yes, former
has unrealized losses of 6.6 billion, now on track to become the 5th largest documented principal trading loss in history. So of course he's not selling. He remains bullish. He's really testing his diamond.
Wow. BitMine's unrealized ETH losses rise shows 6.6 billion. Wow, crazy. Crazy, that's a lot of losses. What are we looking at now? We found something very interesting. I'll send this to my friend. Okay, so here's something interesting. Clock on. I saw some cases of beer show up. I was told the clock controlled robots walking around detected low beer and ordered more beer from the MCP went to human. I'm not sure the world is ready for this power. Very interesting. Clock on. Wow. Can someone introduce me to Elon for logo work? There's a potential here. AI technology. Tonight's Claude bought it and asking the people how they are using OpenClaw. Very interesting. Very interesting. Learning, creating, trying my best to improve and help others improve. Oh wow. So now my feed is taken over by Claude. Everything is taken over by Claude. This is very interesting. So NASA's head is saying that we will allow our astronauts to use the latest phones. We have, okay, go back.
I'm in hand.
All right, go back. Are modern smartphones allowed on NASA space flights? Let's see. It's gonna take. Yes, modern smartphones can fly to space, but they don't get to behave like Earth smartphones. Wow, this is so cool. The SpaceX. Regularly use iPhones and iPads aboard the International Space Station. Custom software, checklists, experiments, photos, inventory, and procedures. No cellular network, Wi-Fi tightly controlled, camera. Oh, no camera, no microphone, no radio, no Bluetooth. No arbitrary apps, everything must be vetted. Touchscreens beat paper and microgravity. Modern phones are powerful, lightweight computers. Reduces training overhead compared to bespoke hardware, easier updates and faster workflows. Sometimes bring personal devices, but they are inspected, often kept powered off. Used sparingly under strict rules. Improvised sensors, experiments leveraging accelerometer meters and cameras already on board. Very cool, very cool. Cursor was the first to wake the world up to what workflows can look like when AI is treated as a first-class citizen, but Cursor has the benefit of operating inside an IDE. Man on the Moon mission to create what is now popularly known as the context graph and use it to create and power the command center for interaction. I think CRM is the biggest one because CRM also acts as a coordination mechanism between the team, helps you understand what is the CRM is basically helping you understand that, okay, what is the sales, what is the pipeline, where is this going. It helps you forecast, it helps you track this quarter details, it helps you track all your network, it helps you track your entire team's performance, it helps you get all the insights that your team is getting from the customers. So CRM kind of becomes the knowledge base of your company. Launching now because the promise is finally reality. Don't hide, not a wraparound or LLM, not a chatbot stapled to a database. It's a deeply integrated system where AI understands business relationships as naturally as Cursor understands core. Oh, I'm like, what just happened? Where context isn't something you have to provide, it's something the system already has. Okay, really cool. Like, thank you, Ashton Kutcher. What else is he posting? Was Zima the original High Noon? Who owns Zima asking for a friend? New EPS dropping to 9. Sound Ventures was an investor. Venture capital firm founded by Ashton and Guy. BitGo. Really cool. Thank you to the entire Bears organization for an amazing season. Midnight in Rome and I'm going to wake up for the Pope. Bear down. Okay, really cool. Let's see, what do we have now? We looked at this. We looked at Mickey Mouse generation. Claude was amazing. Whoa. Entire thing memorized by March 10. If my 2-year-old boy has anything to say about it. Take an epic journey. Lost World in the Dinosaurs, a new documentary series narrated by Morgan Freeman, premiering March 6. Quick update to the sunlight situation. Oh, not this one. This one. Okay, we have beautiful sun, but we have to keep the shades a little bit down so I can actually see what's happening. Really cool. Really cool. Really cool. They have this thing called pertinence. What is pertinent? What is relevant? AI. Is this AI? Isn't created entirely with AI. It's a 4-part Netflix documentary series using CGI VFX to recreate prehistoric life based on scientific research. exec produced TLDR Epic Dino Journey from Rise to Extinction, premiering March 6, 2026. Really cool. Everything you need to know here. The dinosaurs roar back to life this March. Wow, good work, Netflix. I think this is what's gonna happen. More and more high quality stories. That's what we want. More and more high quality stories. What if we expand the video capture a bit? Yes. We'll expand videos from here on. Just a little bit. Yes. Parfait. Parfait. Okay. Let's go. What do we have? We're so Claude Code build. There are more PRs, more reviews, more shit to keep track of than ever. What is this? OpenAI isn't saying it, but Frontier to me is basically like a platform for digital employees, or like OpenClaw for organizations. Oh shit! New app. They had Prism, now they have Frontier. Create autonomous digital agents, give them skills and tools, and oversee their work. We are truly going through an evolution into an era of autonomous agent swarms right now. Hey, how can we forget this? We have to keep a tab on OpenAI. Every single day we gotta open OpenAI. Introducing OpenAI Frontier, a new platform that helps enterprises build, deploy, and manage AI co-workers that can do real work. Frontier gives agents the same skills people need to succeed at work. How work gets done. Use a computer and tools, improve quality over time, stay going observable. Your system of record, business context, agent execution. OpenAI Atlas. They no more call it ChatGPT Atlas, they call it OpenAI Atlas. Okay. OpenAI Atlas. I guess we have to change the name then. OpenAI Atlas. Not ChatGPT Atlas. Enregistré. WisprFlow and OpenAI Atlas. Is there an account? They haven't made an account for OpenAI Atlas. Nope, nothing. They still call it ChatGPT Atlas. Okay. OpenAI agents, your agents, third-party agents, evaluation, optimization, built-in evaluation, optimization loops, more intelligence and tools. Okay. Forward deployed engineers with your team, working side by side to forward deployed. Forward deployed has become a real thing now. Okay. Best practices to build and run agents in production, and there's a tight loop to OpenAI research. As you deploy agents, we learn what needs to improve around the model, how models should evolve to be more useful for your work. Frontier is available today to a limited set of customers, with broad availability coming over the next few months. HP, Intuit, Oracle, State Farm. What is State Farm? Welcome to the neighborhood. Thermo Fisher, Uber, first to adopt Frontier. Also working with a small group of Frontier partners: Abridge, Ambiance, Clay, Decagon, Harvey, Sierra Platform, design solutions for enterprise and support deployment. Welcome more builders focus on enterprise AI. What will be the impact on job market? Really cool question. Data analysis and testing potentially displacing routine jobs. McKinsey estimates 300 million at risk globally by 2030. However, it creates roles in AI management and boosts productivity, with WEF predicting net gains via reskilling. Uncertain and vary by industry. Interesting. GB200 has really been enabling us to do some amazing things. GB200. Waymo is eating into rideshare. More mobile charts. Lyft, Uber. Where's Waymo? Ah, Waymo's penetration of existing Lyft and Uber users. Very interesting. Tesla needs to accelerate. Waymo has a tiny fraction of the markets. Really cool. Did their hero iterations bet on America? Bet on America. Bet on America. Ooh, this is really cool. Bet on America. Powered by Oakline. Dither Hero Iterations. Oh my god, OpenAI, we need to check out OpenAI account, what is happening. We work with Ginkgo Bioworks to connect GPT-5 to an autonomous lab so it could propose experiments, run them at scale, learn from results, decide what to try next. That closed loop broad protein production costs down by 40%. Ginkgo Bioworks. Autonomous lab. Design experiments, lab executed them, and their results informed next design across 6 iterations. Combinations that work well together that hold up in the realities of high throughput automation. Low cost reaction compositions that humans had not previously tested in this configuration. Truly incredible, as they say. Okay, what is this one? What happened to the deal? CEO Bob Iger still enrolled during the call. Yeah, Bob Iger, I think Disney got a new CEO. Major enterprise customer. Short form content, Disney Plus. No negative impact on traditional film, TV pipeline. Eventually, let subscribers create these short videos directly on the platform. Devaluing IP, focusing on controlled curated use. Okay. Yes. 550 million MAU. Okay. 570. 388. 225. 561. 600. 557. 600 plus. Okay. Consensus hovers around 550 to 600. Okay. 600. Even Grok app integration contributing to broader ecosystem growth. Overall growth summary 540, 550. Okay, really cool. So X is growing slowly, but it makes sense. X will always be just a little bit behind, let's say. The benchmark ecosystem has gotten so fragmented that nobody trusts anyone else's self-reported score, so everyone is just running everyone else's models and publishing their own results. The real Grok inside Perplexity is building a wrapper business that outperforms the platforms it wraps. They don't train foundation models, they orchestrate other people's models with better storage infrastructure, and that orchestration layer is now worth 13 percentage points. The value is migrating from model-based to storage architecture. So he's basically saying he is bullish on Perplexity. Very interesting. This week is for coders and dreamers. You can just build things. Buy now, pay maybe.
Pay maybe. A revolutionary new way to pay online, where sometimes you don't even have to pay. You can try it now to buy limited edition merchandise at merch.smallbrain.xyz. And remember, think small brain. Introducing Buy Now.
Introducing a new way to pay. Chance it's free, chance you pay. Think small brain. 2 left. Dark, light, size, only small. Think small brain. Hey, beautiful shots. Really cool. Beautiful shots. Oh, so you gotta fill everything, you gotta connect your wallet, and then you get to know that what's your price. Really cool. Joggers. Oh, they all have the same photos. Okay, cool. But really cool. Small brain. Genius. Just giving out free stuff for free now. Do you gamble to have a chance of purchasing goods for free? Very big brain for a small brain. Don't call me big brain, that's messed up. When Shopify integration. We looked into this. Natural language queries, code execution, browser with ID powers, Copilot evolution, GitHub Copilot, In future, you're imagining this the consolidation is inevitable. Super app vision where AI agents handle browsing, coding, even deployment end-to-end. Front end for everything, query the web, write code, test, iterate, all without context switching between tools. Let's unpack that and extrapolate the broader trend. Browsers gaining ID features, modern browsers, dev tools, web-based IDs taking over. Okay, AI as glue, debugging via natural language, browsing for U to fetch dependencies, single app, build a web for X, pulling data from Y, deploy to Z, browse lookup, ID coding, execution, performance, heavy task, security, privacy, more data in the cloud, expect better sandboxing, edge computing to mitigate risk, legacy devs cling to native IDs like younger generations prefer browser first for its accessibility. Browsing with creation. Future versions will be full browser IDEs. Standalone OpenAI Studio app. Canvas Copilot browsing. Yes, really cool. This was cool. This was cool. Read your code for you, write it, fix bug, manage multiple AI so complex just can run parallel. Review before committing. Eyeballing changes ensures arrest. Give clear actionable prompts. Automate repetitive task. Create pull request. Get explanation. Oh, we had some stuff running over here. Interesting things. Agent teams. The new stack. 1 million token context window. Max output tokens, compaction AI, adaptive thinking, content creation is also interesting in itself. Modulates its own cognitive effort, could be a great episode topic. Co-work environment, autonomous multi-step task execution, combining analysis and document creation. Claude and PowerPoint. Interesting. Slack, GitHub, need a custom orchestrator. Thin conductor agent dispatches to specialist agents. Frameworks. Good for role-based agent teams, best for complex stateful orchestration and conditional routing. LangGraph. Cookbook, using native tool to use my recommendation. Option 1, write orchestration instructions. Option 2, persistent parallel execution, build into a product. Right connection, you just have to give it right connections. Mortality clock for cities, the Hermon for dollars, philosophical Turing test, unsent message, some Sora scroll, anti-recommendation engine, collective unconscious read, regret, marketplace, ancestor. What is this? Municipal data, calculate and visualize the life expectancy of every building on the block, momentum mori for urban spaces. Okay. The Hermon for dollars, what was this?